There's not really much to do. I think we should hit the bosses once we get some paragons going and some other heroes. Because all of these heroes down here are going to be the strongest ones. So we probably need these guys to even start to, tackle the bosses. In the races, we could do a race, but I don't know. I just feel like it's kind of boring to do a race, to be honest with you. We can't do contested territory. I still don't really know how that works. I know you join a team, like Clash of Clans style, and you do something after that, but I feel bad only logging in once a week to get stuff done. We got the Easter Collection event, which we've seen these before, so I won't talk about it, but got that going on. We've almost got the Beast Handler unlocked. So let's just go on and do some black borders. Looks like we're on middle of the road. We're alternate Bloons. Okay. So, if I remember correctly, from like a while ago, I think for alternate Bloons, we could use Azili because she detects camo right away, but I think she gets overwhelmed pretty quickly. But I think we used Boomerang one day, and that worked out pretty well. We could do Boomerang, and then maybe I don't know, like a Buccaneer or something. I realize Ninja and Alchemist are the two obvious ones to use for alternate Bloons, but I just feel like trying something else out to try to find a new strategy. We did something that worked for the other maps, but I can't remember what it was. I want to say it was Boomerang and something else. Maybe a Sniper. I think that was it. Boomerang and a Sniper. But Azili will work too. We can just go ahead and buy her right now. So we can run this, and then, yeah, Sniper I think will work. I'm sure any military monkey would work, to be honest with you. So, yeah, we could probably use any of those and be fine. I'm sure most of the magic monkeys would be fine. Wizard can detect camo at some point. Super Monkey, Ninja, and the Mermonkey can all do that. Alchemist and Druid probably need some help to work well on alternate Bloons. And the Spike Factory and the Engineer. I think Spike Factory would work well. I don't know about this map in particular, but I think it would work well in general. Engineer. Maybe the Engineer would work well too. We do bottom path Engineer to catch a lot of the big mobs and get some extra cash out of that. Right now this is working out just fine. If we're gonna do anything, we should unlock these last few tier 5s before we do anything, like strategically. So what do we have? We have Alchemist, Super Monkey. Oh, Dartling Gunner for sure. We can do that. That it? And then of course the Beast Handler once we get him. Okay, we can totally do that. We can do Super Monkey, I guess, next to Azili, then Dartling Gunner up here, then an Alchemist next to the Super Monkey, or maybe next to the, I don't know, next to something. We'll figure it out. That should work out fine. Necromancer with Wall of Fire, yeah, that could be good too. Once we unlock the tier 5s, we can start working on Paragons. So that's definitely an option for the wizard paragon for sure. We're gonna need 1,000,000 XP for that, so definitely a solid option. So let's go ahead and save up for a super monkey. We can have some extra help for around 40. I'm thinking we put the super monkey over here. And the side doesn't really matter. We put it over here. Put a village next to both of these guys. And then the alchemist can go on the other side with Azili. Oh, this might be a problem. Yeah, this is totally a problem. Sell you. Buy you, I guess. Oh, this isn't gonna work. I forgot about this round. Alright. Well, we'll try that again. We'll just do the same thing. And then, I don't know. Maybe buy a village for camo detection before the super monkey. So the other day I was talking about some random personal stuff happening in my life, right? I was talking about work and school and whether or not I want to pursue this more seriously as a hobby and eventually as a job at some point. So I was talking about that a little bit. And I mentioned that I'm going to go see my friend later today. And my friend happens to be a visual artist. She does digital art, pretty sure, for the most part. I won't talk about it too much for her sake, but she's working on this project that has to involve like different characters and writing, and I think eventually she wants to make like a video game at some point or something. I don't really know too much about it, but it's got me thinking because, you know, on top of all this stuff I have to figure out in my life that's a bit more serious, I also want to pursue my own projects. Like, I have a bunch of music that I've started that I'd never finished, a lot of exercises in music that I like develop and work on for the sake of technique, or like learning new compositional tricks or something like that that I never really use in songs. They're just kind of there in a sketchbook, you could say. I just started something the other day that has like a bunch of brass instruments and strings. I don't know. I don't even know if I'm gonna get back to it at any point, but I would like to. I'm gonna record some music. I'm able to record my guitars and some other stuff, program some drums. I just never get around to it. Got that writer's block, and also, like I said, I've got other stuff to worry about. Notebook, yeah, exactly. Like, you never really realize how expensive it is to do a hobby like that, like a creative hobby, until you actually start to do it. like I said, I'm not really doing any of this as a job, so it's not like I have access to like a whole studio, or I'm not like a part of a band where we, consistently get together and write stuff and record. It's nothing serious like that. I'm just kind of in my room toiling away with ideas until I find something that I kind of like. But yeah, it would be cool to get some of my own stuff out there, but stuff costs money, Costs money, costs time, costs energy. Most of the time when I start something, I'm like, oh yeah, this is good. Then I like come back to it a few months later after having learned some stuff about the art, and I'm like, man, this is garbage. I should have done this instead. And then I like restart it or like start some new thing, and I never end up actually finishing anything, which is kind of unfortunate, but that's how it goes. It's nice to do something like this, like streaming, because I'm still having to, develop my channel and my themes and all that stuff, which is kind of a creative thing to do. I like doing that. But at the same time, it's pretty easy to just sit here, talk to y'all, and play some video games that I like. It's not like I have some quota. It's not like, oh, you have to play 30 minutes of Marvel Rivals, and then 30 minutes of Call of Duty, and then 30 minutes of some other game that is not fun to play all the time, you know what I mean? Not that Call of Duty and Marvel Rivals aren't fun to play, but I wouldn't want to be forced to play them every day if I had to choose. Okay, so let's see what we can do here. There's not too many great places to place farms on this map. This corner and this corner up here are kind of the only places. Even those are pretty awkward. Like, I can barely fit 2 over here. I don't even know if I can fit a 3rd, but maybe. Alright, I think that's fine for now, though. Run with some extra money. Oh, we can barely fit that one in there. Yeah, there you go. Alright. Let's start upgrading some stuff. We got Super Monkey to upgrade. See, we probably want... Actually, let me sell you and place you closer to the gunner. If possible, maybe? Maybe? Will that work? Maybe. Then we'll just do top path. Because we don't really need the money from bottom path all that much. And it probably benefits Azili the most to have that brew on her. We'll just do... I like bottom path on the gunner, actually. A lot of people do middle or top path, but I like bottom path quite a bit. we can go ahead and upgrade the farms a bit more. So what now? I think we can save up enough for the Sun Avatar and this Bloon area denial system. I think we can save up pretty easily for those. So I guess we can keep this strategy if we have a Zeely. She'll carry the first, like, 10 rounds or so before we get anything else. 20 rounds. We might have to revise this strategy once we get the next hero, which I think is Adora. I'm not too sure if Adora has camo detection like that. I can't really remember. Gonna have to relearn how to use her. There we go. I still want to get Zeely to level 20 if possible. I remember, I think Raging Monkey was mentioning that her level 20 ability is really nice, and everything I think between level like 15 and 20 was also really good. But I guess she's just really hard to level, which is kind of interesting. How much progress have we made in XP? I guess not that much. Probably a little bit. Not really that much. Of course, the Super Monkey is going to take forever to level up, because this tier 5 costs so much XP for no reason. We got one for the Dartling Gunner. There we go. How much do you cost? 60,000. Yeah, not happening today, but maybe later. Should get this guys by the end of this game, I think. And we'll just keep using Super Monkey and Dartling Gunner to get a chance to finish their unlocks. And I think by that point we should have the Beast Handler unlocked. So we'll use him a bunch. And then after that, I guess we can just focus on Paragons a little bit more. We can focus on finding cool synergies with our heroes. We can focus on achievement hunting a bit more. That'll be fun. Then of course, once we get all the Paragons up unlocked, and have a better idea of how to use them, we could probably tackle some bosses. I think those are pretty much a requirement for most of the bosses, as far as I know. Doing anything cool over here, Azili? Base attack has larger splash? Okay, I guess. Yeah, that wasn't so bad. We can keep that strategy for the next map, I think. If we still have Zeely, that is. Let me check on the Dartling Gunner. No, on the Alchemist, sorry. We're just short of 30,000. Okay. We'll get that next game then. And it looks like we'll get you after the next game too. Fun. Let's go ahead and do double HP mobs and half cash. Because Impoppable is like a whole new difficulty, so. This shouldn't be so bad. Basically just a normal hard game. But we just need a little bit more firepower for round 40. And that's kind of it. We could probably just do the same strategy for the sake of XP. Dartling Gunner and Super Monkey. Then pad out the rest of the Browns with, I don't know, something else. Let's use a Glue Monkey. We haven't used a Glue Monkey in a while. I like a good Glue Monkey. How long have I been streaming for? If you mean today, only an hour. I just started at noon, my time, an hour ago. If you mean in general, I think today is the first day of month 3. So, I just finished 2 months yesterday. So pretty new, pretty new. Not a long time at all. Got some text messages, sorry. Okay, let's see. We've got some time before round 40. I think means we can pretty safely buy a farm before we start to upgrade anything. Camos and the leads won't be a problem. And with a farm, we should be able to buy upgrades for the Dartling Gunner, and the Super Monkey before round 40, I hope. Let's go ahead and do that. Dartling Gunner. We get an Alchemist next. We'll lock you in place. Yeah, it's a pretty good location, actually. The Alchemist. Alright. I think all we need to do now is probably buy another village for the Glue Monkey and a Super Monkey. No village for both of those. Again, camos and leads should not be a problem on a standard hard game before round like 50, I think. I'm just going to go ahead and save up for the Super Monkey, and we'll buy the village after that. Got the upgrade for you. Thank you. Okay. Okay, now we should start upgrading before we upgrade our farm or buy more. Because I don't know if we'll get through round 40 without doing that. We can definitely upgrade you. My least favorite hero so far? Honestly, I might say Roselia. I feel like I say her name different every time. Roselia. I might say Roselia just because I feel like I know how to use all the other ones a bit better. And for whatever reason, I just can't really... I don't know, every time I place her down, she ends up losing me more lives than any of the other heroes. Yeah, I'd probably say her, to be honest. I like Churchill, I like Zeely, I like Ben, I like Pat. I like all the 4 starters. Becker Jones might be next, though, to be honest. I mean, with help, he is great. With, like, the bomb towers and the mortars, he is pretty good. But without those, he's another one that I feel like makes me lose a lot of lives, which is annoying. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, though. I do think having a hero is better than having no hero. So I would take Roselia and Jones over having no hero at all, for sure. But I just think they're a bit weaker, in my opinion, than the other ones. Alright, let's start upgrading things a bit more seriously here. And we should be good to go for the rest of the game, I think. Not really any more curveballs, so I think we're good.